Hi everyone, it's Myriam and welcome back to my channel and to another Inktober video. So this one is of days 15 to 17, I believe. I think I'm still late one day, so I'm desperately trying to find the time to do at least 2 drawings in one day, but I haven't found the time so far. So this video is also a couple of days late. Same reason, I was trying to catch up, but because I'm a day late I have to kind of step things back a day every time, so it's affecting a little bit of everything. I'm also kind of working on so many other things at the same time that occasionally the videos are going to be a little bit later than expected. I hope that's okay. Talking about other things I'm doing, the first batch of sale orders have been sent out. I'm working on the rest right now. I ordered a paper trimmer guillotine type thing, and it's not a very cheap one, but it's not the most expensive one either, because I can't really afford stuff that is too expensive at the moment. And it's not actually making my life a lot easier. I was hoping it would make it a lot quicker than cutting everything with a scalpel, but so far not so good. But maybe I just need to get used to it, so I'll give it another go. But I'm at the stage where I'm cutting everything and packaging everything and all the remaining orders, so bear with me. I'm sorry if the order is taking a little bit longer than you were expecting. I promise I'm working really hard at getting them all ready and sent out to you all. So in this video, I thought I would talk about what exactly I'm using for my Inktober. I realised I didn't actually do a full post on Patreon or a kind of video detailing all the tools I'm using, and that's probably because I tend to switch it up a little bit throughout the month. I keep the same kind of thing, but I switch up like brands and that kind of thing. So far, what I'm using for the background generally is black India ink. It's not a waterproof ink. It's pretty water soluble, so I have to be careful when I'm using it, but I bought a massive bottle of it in a Chinese shop in Chinatown, and it's all written in Chinese, so I would be fairly incapable of telling you exactly what goes into it and what its particular properties are, or even what the brand name is. It's a pretty inconspicuous black bottle, but I've got tons of it and it works well, and so I've been using that for the black backgrounds and any kind of extensive black areas I want to paint in. As for each one of my videos, all the supplies I use are in the description below, so if you're interested in kind of reading up again on what I'm talking about, everything will be listed down below. For the white that you can see me use quite extensively in this drawing right now, I'm using Comic Super White, which I believe is kind of a whiteout ink for manga drawing. I bought it in Korea. I'm not entirely sure where you can get it in the US or in the UK. I haven't actually tried finding it anywhere else. I didn't actually know what it was when I bought it. I just thought it'd be interesting because I think we're all always in the quest to find the perfect white ink and white pen. But so far so good. This Comic Super White ink has been absolutely amazing. It's really opaque, and it's not waterproof, which is kind of the only issue I'm having with it, where if I want to repaint or redraw over it, it tends to reactivate quite easily. So it has been kind of diluting my red and diluting my black when I was going over it. But for things like those butterflies and future details and that kind of thing, it's a really good ink, and I'm really glad I purchased it. And I'll have to find a way to find some more. I think Jet Pens might have some. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look it up. If any of you know where I could buy it, that would be really useful. Thank you in advance. I also use a white pen, and for that I use, let me find it, I use a Mitsubishi pencil in white, a Uniball white Signo pen. And it's a gel pen, basically white gel pen, and it works just fine. I'm having a bit trouble getting like even lines. Generally I have to make sure that I'm not applying too much pressure, and that's the only opportunity I get to have clean white lines. It also picks up a lot of the black if I'm drawing on black, so I have to clean it quite regularly, and my hands end up covered in squiggles, but it's doing its job, and I have to do some more research into what kind of pencil are better alternatives to this one, but for the moment it's the one I have and it works just fine. And then for the red pens, I've been using the Pentel Color Brush in red for a while now, and it's a refillable Pentel brush pen. It was, when I first initially got it, I thought it was too pink for my taste. And I remembered thinking that I would never use it, and I was a bit annoyed at myself for buying it. But then I started using it again this year, and I actually really like it now. But I was starting to run out of ink, and I like trying alternatives. So I decided I would give also a couple of other brands a go, and I recently bought the Zig Clean Color Real Brush in red also, obviously, and also a pigment brush in red. And they are both brush pens, but their nibs are a lot shorter and firmer than the Pentel brush pen. That you can get as much detail from either of them, but I think the one that I would recommend if you want tiny detail is probably the pigment brush, because it's probably the smallest nib of the three red brush pens that I have, and it's significantly smaller than the Pentel Color Brush one. So I think they're probably quite a good little range to have. They're a good little selection if you want to go into some amount of detail. And then you may have noticed that I also have been using recently a red fine liner, and I literally just ordered this Staedtler, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, Tri Plus fine liner. It says dry safe on it, and I have no idea what that means. I haven't actually researched them. I just kind of bought the ones on Amazon that could get the quickest. But also I've used Staedtler fine liners quite a lot, and I trust their quality, so I got those and I really like them. They have a really nice feel. They don't write the size on the ones I bought, so I have no idea what size they are. I would say they're probably similar to 0.3. But that's just kind of a blind guess really. So, but I've got a few of those Staedtler red fine liners, and I've been really loving them to add some extra detail to my drawings. As far as black brush pens have been, I've been using a small selection of my favourites. My usual favourite is the Pentel pocket brush pen in black, and it's absolutely fantastic, but I think it's probably got the longest, most flexible nib of all the ones I own, at least in my opinion, and so I find it a bit more difficult to control my lines with it. So usually I use that one extensively, but for these drawings, because I wanted to last the whole month, I decided to go for a selection and just try them out and see which ones I preferred. And so I've been trying the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen, but I've also been using my other ones quite extensively, which include the Kuretake Sumi Brush Pen number 8, which I believe is refillable, and it's got quite a small brush at the end, and I quite like how much control I get over it. I really like the flow of it too. I've been using a Zebra Fude brush pen, and it's a double-sided one, so it's got one side that's quite a short brush and the other side that's got more of a pen nib, and I really like that one to go into more detail and have more control over my pen lines. And I've also been really enjoying the Kuretake Bimoji Fude brush pen, and I think I have it in broad, which means it's between 1 and 5 millimeter thickness of line. I think, I'm not entirely sure, I don't actually remember, and the writings on it are all in Chinese, so I would be rather incapable of telling you, but it's a pretty thick brush pen, and I alternate them quite a lot because I find that it means that the ink kind of flows a bit better. I don't feel like I'm running out of ink. I do feel like a few of them are running dry though, so I might need to buy a new selection at some point. Oh, and I inserted a little bit of real-time footage of me doing those dots with the cotton bud because it was so nice and relaxing, and I kind of got lost into doing it. I didn't really know where the piece I'm drawing right now was gonna go, and I didn't really know what concept I wanted with it, apart from the fact that I wanted the chest to be open because I wanted to do a play on treasure chest. But I just did these dots with the cotton bud, and I kind of found myself really relaxing and kind of not really caring where it went, which is unusual for me. Generally I like to have full control over my ideas, but this time it was late and I was tired, and I could feel myself slowly becoming more stressed, and I was like, no, rein it in, and I just started doing those dots, and it was just really relaxing. But anyway, I think the last supply I can share with you is the Pentel Color Brush Pen in grey. I've been using it sparingly, but every so often I use it usually alongside doing ink washes to create a bit more value change and a little bit more variation in my drawings. As far as brushes go, I use a couple brushes, a flat flat square brushes to apply my backgrounds, and then for the white I have nail art brushes that I got from a pound shop years and years ago when I was doing makeup, and they were perfect to do like tiny veins and capillaries and that kind of thing. And when I started painting again, I was like, oh, they're perfect for doing tiny detail. They're really, really great. So I've got tons of them because I think they were £1 for like a pack of 6 or something, and so I got tons and I use those for details in my work. Anyway, I think we're getting to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed these drawings for I think this is day 15 to 17 here. I was in a mix of moods, and so I kind of alternated between wanting to do slightly darker concepts, like probably day 16, and then something that was a bit lighter in spirit, like this one here, day 17. I just liked to alternate things. This one, people made me laugh because they said that it reminded them of the fairy in Zelda and how obnoxious her voice is when she goes, "Hey, lesson!" And I have played that game and I can confirm that I can definitely see that. Not intentional, but it definitely made me laugh. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I need to rush out now because we are going out tonight, but I hope I'll see you in a couple of days for the next one. Take care everyone, I love you all and see you soon. Bye!